Hello and welcome. This is Chandni Nebnani and you are watching It's Tomorrow News. Dorian hits US Virgin Islands as Category 1 hurricane. Dorian became a Category 1 hurricane on Wednesday as it struck the US Virgin Islands, with forecasters saying it could grow to Category 3 status as it nears the US mainland as early as the weekend. The British Virgin Islands and the Puerto Rican islands of Vieques and Culebra were also in Dorian's path, with landslides, widespread flooding and power outages possible in the US territory, which faced its first major test of emergency preparedness since the 2017 devastation of Hurricane Maria. Dorian prompted President of US to declare a state of emergency on Tuesday night and ordered federal assistance for local authorities. At 2 p.m. local time, Dorian was located over St. Thomas in the US Virgin Islands. The US National Hurricane Center said it had maximum sustained winds of 120 kilometers per hour while moving northwest at 20 kilometers per hour. The Hurricane Center said the storm could grow into a dangerous Category 3 storm as it pushes northwest in the general direction of Florida. A National Hurricane Center meteorologist in Miami said Dorian may grow in size and could land anywhere from South Florida to South Carolina on Sunday or Monday. A hurricane tropical storm warning was in effect for Puerto Rico, with Dorian expected to dump 100 to 150 millimeters of rain with isolated amounts of 200 millimeters. It is a forecast that worries many in Puerto Rico because blue tarps still covers some 30,000 homes nearly 2 years after Hurricane Maria. The island's 3.2 million inhabitants also depend on an unstable power grid that remains prone to outages since it was destroyed by Maria, a Category 4 storm. Dorian's sustained wind speeds are 132 kilometers per hour, making it a Category 1 hurricane. A hurricane warning is currently in effect in Vieques and Culebra in Puerto Rico, as well as the US and British Virgin Islands. Meteorologists expect the storm to strengthen even more up to a Category 3 hurricane. The risk of dangerous storm surge and hurricane force winds is increasing in the central and northwestern Bahamas and along the Florida east coast, although it is too soon to determine where these hazards will occur. The storm will likely bring heavy rainfall with the potential to produce flash flooding during the next couple of days over parts of Puerto Rico and the US and British Virgin Islands, according to the public advisory. Heavy rain also will hit the Bahamas, Florida and the southeastern US later this week and early next week. Dorian is considerably less powerful than the hurricanes that hit Puerto Rico 2 years ago. It is expected to gather strength in the coming days and is on course to reach the US states of Florida or Georgia by the weekend. Forecasters have warned of life-threatening flash flooding and rip current conditions as the storm moves across the region. Some 23,000 people were said to be without power in Puerto Rico by Wednesday afternoon, with further power cuts reported in the US Virgin Islands. 101 millimeter heavy rain lashes Bhuj in just 24 hours, highest since 2011. Monsoon continues to batter Rajasthan. The cyclonic circulation continues to persist over the Saurashtra region in India up to 5.2 kilometers above the sea level. Due to its influence, good rains have lashed many parts of Gujarat. Bhuj in the Kutch region have recorded heavy rains to the tune of 101 millimeters in a span of just 24 hours. In fact, this has been the highest amount of rainfall in such a short span since 2011. On August 11, in 2011, the city recorded a whopping 150.3 millimeter of rainfall, whereas the all-time record is 241.4 millimeter as observed on August 12, 1979. Similarly, heavy showers were seen over Baroda. The city has been observing heavy rain and thunder shower activities since the last 2 to 3 days. As the system would continue to persist, more showers are likely to lash the cities for the next 24 hours. Many other parts of the state such as Rajkot, Porbandar, Verawal, Ahmedabad, etc. too received light to moderate rain and thunder showers. According to our meteorologists, The cyclonic circulation would persist for some more time, due to which the weather activities would continue with good intensity in the Kutch region of Gujarat, such as in Bhuj and Nalia. However, other parts of the state such as Vadodara and adjoining area would experience light rains, only with 1 or 2 moderate spells for another 24 hours. Another spell of heavy rain is expected around September 4 or 5 in the wake of low pressure area over the Bay of Bengal. The system would also travel in the westerly direction, thus bringing in more rains for the state. With rains making an appearance quite frequently, this monsoon season is turning out to be good for the state of Gujarat. And more rainy days are likely to be seen in the month of September. Active monsoon would bring in more rains for Kota, Bundi, Savai Madhavpur, Alwar and Jaipur during the coming days. Monsoon rains continued in the state of Rajasthan, wherein Jodhpur and Chittorgarh recorded heavy rains during the last 24 hours. While the southern districts such as Udaipur and Mount Abu received moderate showers only. Meanwhile, scattered rains made an appearance over East Rajasthan. On the other hand, the northern districts remained almost dry. In a span of 24 hours from 8:30 am on Wednesday, Chittorgarh received 78 millimeters rainfall, followed by Jodhpur 64 millimeters and Palodi 54 millimeters. According to weathermen at SkyMet, South Rajasthan would continue to receive moderate rain for another 24 hours. Thereafter, the intensity will reduce, but another weather system in quick succession would start affecting east and southeast Rajasthan in the form of rains. Between September 1 and 3, the axis of monsoon trough would move further northwest, and a cyclonic circulation would also take a form over southwest Uttar Pradesh. The combined effect of these two systems would increase rains over the northern and northeastern districts of the state. Storm Podul to impact South China. After bringing damagingly gusty winds and thunder showers over North Philippines, Tropical Storm Podul continues to transverse westwards with an undying intensity. Podul might cross close to the southern province of Henan in China today, that is Thursday. The residents are already put on an alert. Podul might bring locally damaging winds to southern parts of the island. Some areas might even see flooding downpours. Just after transversing close to Henan, the storm is expected to make a landfall on North Vietnam just a day after on Friday. Thereafter, as it makes a landfall, the storm might lose its intensity while hovering over the terrains of Vietnam, Laos and Thailand. Cities such as Da Nang, Ha Tin and surrounding areas are put on alert, as these locations are the ones to bear the maximum brunt of Storm Podul with strong winds and torrential rains. The rainfall intensity will then shift westwards as Podul tracks into Laos and then Thailand by Friday night. Rainfall to the tune of 200 millimeters is expected over these areas, which might result in high risk of floods and mudslides. Damaging winds will, however, remain confined to the coastal areas. Winds reaching 80 to 95 kilometers per hour might uproot trees on its way and lead to power outages. Residents are alerted against any possible mishappenings and to pay heed to the advice rolled out by the local authorities. The storm pushed across eastern Luzon on Tuesday. While just off the western coast of northern Luzon on Tuesday night, it weakened briefly to a tropical depression. The Japan Meteorological Agency named the tropical cyclone Podul. This will also be the name used in other countries across Eastern Asia. Classes were suspended on Tuesday in many parts of the Philippines, where it was codenamed Jenny. On Wednesday, concerns are shifting to locations from northern Vietnam to southeastern China for possible impact from Podul late this week and towards the weekend. Meanwhile, a second tropical system is expected to develop in the Philippines Sea later this week. It is expected to rip through northern Philippines this weekend, bringing another potential round of flooding. There will also be the risk of downpours, but flooding is expected to be localized across the island as the core of the storm remains to the south. A general westward track of Podul will result in landfall along Vietnam's northern coastline during the day on Friday. Locations from Da Nang to Ha Tin will endure the worst of the storm's impact, with the strong winds and torrential rainfall from Thursday night into Friday. Total rainfall of 150 to 250 millimeters is expected from north-central Vietnam into central and southern Luzon and northern Thailand through Saturday. This magnitude of rainfall will result in a high risk of flooding and mudslides throughout the region. Residents should prepare now for possible evacuations and heed all advice from local authorities. Damaging winds will be confined to areas near and north of the coast, where Podul makes landfall in Vietnam. Wind gusts of 80 to 95 kilometers per hour are possible in these locations, resulting in tree damage and power outages. Heavy rains in western Japan trigger evacuation orders for around 9 lakh residents. Torrential rain hit southwestern Japan on Wednesday morning, prompting local governments to instruct thousands of people to evacuate as rivers overflowed and at least 3 people were left dead in what the weather agency calls an unprecedented downpour. In Saga Prefecture in the Kyushu region, Saga station was flooded and a number of vehicles are seen submerged. Landslides were confirmed in the city of Teikyo and rivers in Ogi and Imari overflowed, flooding nearby farm fleets. At least 2 people were confirmed dead and were more forced to leave their homes, while another million were advised to move to safety, reports said. The country's weather agency raised the alert to its highest level on Wednesday for parts of the southern island of Kyushu, the third largest of Japan's 5 main islands. The emergency warning is issued if there is a significant likelihood of catastrophes. Officials confirmed 2 deaths to the AFP news agency, one in western Saga Prefecture, where a man was found in a car that had been swept away. A second man died in Fukua as he tried to escape from a car trapped in rising floodwaters. More than twice the usual rainfall for the whole of August has fallen over parts of Kyushu over the past 48 hours, washing away roads, causing rivers to burst their banks and forcing the suspension of train services. There are many reports of damage in different areas due to flooding of rivers, landslides and submerged houses, and there is the possibility of serious damage occurring in the coming hours. More than 9 lakh people were ordered to evacuate, national broadcaster NHK said, while Japan's Fire and Disaster Management Agency said just over 1 million others were advised to leave their homes. The agency said it received multiple reports of flooded houses in Saga and Nagasaki prefectures. Evacuation orders and advisories issued by local authorities are not mandatory, although officials urge residents to heed them. As landslides occurred at both the Uzihu River in the cities of Ogi and Taku or the Matsura River in Imeri burst their banks, Saga governor requested the self-defense forces be dispatched to provide disaster relief. Kyushu Railway Company cancelled some services, mainly in the 3 prefectures that were severely affected. Footage on local television showed overs swollen by rainwater and parked cars surrounded by muddy brown water rising nearly up to vehicles' roofs. Authorities regularly urge people to take evacuation orders seriously, particularly since disastrous heavy rains last summer in the west killed more than 200 people. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News, Chandni Nebnani. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe.